Kingship is an ancient institution built on power, authority, and often brutality. While some rulers brought prosperity, others etched their names into history for terror, violence, and cruelty. From ancient tyrants whose thirst for blood knew no bounds to medieval monarchs whose reigns spread fear and destruction, this is the story of the most evil kings in history. Rulers whose actions reshaped civilizations, brutalized peoples, and left legacies that still shock us today. Long before modern states, kings ruled with absolute authority and absolute cruelty. One such ruler was Phalaris of Kaniraja, remembered in ancient texts for legendary brutality, including a brazen bull execution device that burned victims alive. Another dark figure was Kaniraja Tissa of Anuradhapura, who ascended the throne by murdering his own brother, executing monks, and casting dissenters onto iron spikes. These early tyrants remind us that unchecked power, even in the earliest kingdoms, often led to horrifying cruelty. In medieval Europe and Asia, monarchy and cruelty often walked hand in hand. Vlad III, known as Vlad the Impaler, inspired horror with his preference for impaling enemies on spikes along the roads of Wallachia. So much so that his legacy became the myth of Dracula. Meanwhile, in Russia, Ivan IV, or Ivan the Terrible, created the Oprichnina, a private police force responsible for mass executions and brutal repression. From Eastern Europe to the Middle Ages, these rulers held power through terror, using fear as a tool of control. Some kings didn't just terrorize their subjects, they led campaigns of conquest and widespread slaughter. Attila the Hun, known as the Scourge of God, struck fear into the heart of the Roman Empire with brutal invasions, mass killings, and ruthless demands for tribute. Other rulers, like Genghis Khan, though technically a great Khan rather than king, established empires through relentless warfare, leaving countless cities destroyed and populations devastated. Whether in Europe or Asia, these war-born rulers reshaped history through fear and force. The Roman Empire produced some of history's most notorious rulers. Caligula, infamous for cruelty, sexual depravity, and bizarre acts of violence, turned Rome's elite world into a theater of terror. Another was Nero, who presided over persecutions and executions, allegedly even blaming Christians for the Great Fire of Rome. These emperors demonstrated that absolute power without restraint often resulted in madness and bloodshed. Cruelty didn't end with antiquity. In more recent history, rulers like Jean-Bédel Bokassa, self-proclaimed emperor of the Central African Empire, indulged in extreme violence, including execution, torture, and rumored cannibalism, before a coup toppled his regime. And Emperor Hirohito of Japan, while controversial in historical debate, remains connected to atrocities committed during World War II, actions that later evaded full accountability. These figures show that absolute power still carried cruelty into the modern era. History remembers both heroes and villains, but the stories of these kings remind us that power without accountability often leads to tyranny and terror. From ancient tyrants to imperial conquerors and modern would-be monarchs, the cruelty of these rulers left deep scars on human history. As we study them today, we not only learn about the past, but understand the importance of justice, responsibility, and the dangers of unrestrained authority.